this week on Stay Out of My Fridge.
My thighs are too big for boxers. I put a pair of boxers on, and the first time the legs go like this, and it's rips right in half. The boxers are gone. So I was always a boxer brief guy, but I was not going to say no to these shoes. I wore them until my foot was hanging out of the shoes like a sandwich, and people were making fun of me, like, man, your shoes is talking to us over here, you know, like. I was calling it the roof, and people are saying it's not the roof. That's roof is what, or wait, is it roof or is it roof?
I know you're saying you say roof. We said roof.
It's roof, yeah, roof. I'm going on the roof.
I used to say it like that too. I used to say the rough, you know, or whatever, or roof. Now I can't. Nope, I'm refusing to say that word until the end of the show.
I'm not saying rough. I'm saying rough. I'm just not saying roof.
There's only one way to settle this.
Roof. Roof.
Here, let me say it slower for you.
Roof.
Roof. Roof. Let's go do it on the roof. You bring this up. I am going on the roof. Not this week, but next week. I'm going to be living on the roof of the building. See, now I have to say this word 80,000 times over the next 2 weeks.
Did it. We're back. Happy Thursday, unless you're, watching this on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But the voice you're hearing is me, as mad as Beard Laws. Joining me on Stay Out of the Fridge, as always, is Brandon J McDermott and Yuban Whakinov. What's up, dudes?
Not a lot. I have not been whacking off, but how you been? You been?
Not whacking off as well. I'm a little cranky because we've been so busy. Sporting events, tournaments, all that fun stuff. 'Tis the season.
Yeah.
But as soon as I get after this, or as soon as I get done with this recording, after seeing Brandon's beautiful locks of hair, you rarely get to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm busting twice.
Yeah.
While he drinks, I purposely paused just a little bit. I knew that was right to his lips.
Not his first rodeo. Hey, way to swallow, not spit. But either way, you've been looking good in that blue. It's funny you did make a comment about, I need a new hat. And you conveniently wear a Royals hat after you guys continually beat on one of the worst teams in baseball, the Pirates. But you guys were there not too long ago, so maybe they'll make a comeback.
Yeah, and we're going to piss away this opportunity somehow. So while I'm excited, I'm realistic. I know what's going to happen. But this might be a 10-year-old hat. I had to fit. It's even a little faded on top and everything. I just want people to know I'm no bandwagoner. I have proof.
It looks good. It's in good shape for that. And I was telling Brad, not that anybody cares, but I found a reason to bust out the 3D printer. Been busting out hat hooks. So I'm reorganizing the studio. I'm addicted to hats. You guys can't see it in there, but all over the studio, hats. And normally a lot of the Finlay hats. Turns out, you guys, if you want to save $10 on it, you could use code BEARDLAWS, but don't if you don't want to. I don't make any money off it. They're just a cool company. But definitely check out Copper John's. I got the Finlay Copper John's collab part 2. You guys should check that out. Use code BEARDLAWS. It's got the copper one, or the Copper John's got the leather patch. A lot of people don't like the brown and the black together. I think it's a good look.
So for lack of a better term, listen, great hat. But for lack of a better term, that little gold buckle thing you got there, it looks like the T from Tennessee a little bit. So I'm looking at
it should be
from my angle anyway.
Yeah, it might not enhance, but it's the Finlay triangle.
Yeah.
And they have that patent. Yeah, it's cool. I don't do it because with the beard and stuff, but you can actually take this down and put it under your chin and zip it up. So if you're on a boat or you're skateboarding or doing something super fast, it won't fall off your head. That's their thing. They're big snowboarders. So this will actually pop down. That's what they have that there. And then the wooden piece goes like an old Western tie or something.
Nice.
But yeah, pretty cool. And check out our friends at Yellow Leaf Hammock. We showed you guys last week the Vista. I was chilling in mine right before the show. It's super comfy. But and of course the peanut butter we talked about last week at the end of the show. If you guys didn't see it, it's fun to say and it's delightful. I went through an entire thing in 1 week. Fawkin Nuts peanut butter. Fawkin. The kids love to say it. You love to say it, and it tastes good. I personally love would it be the original? I guess better, the normal peanut butter over the coconut one. But I'm not a coconut guy. The wife loves it. Loves it.
That's how it was for me too. It's the other one. It tastes good, but I'm not a huge Nutella fan either. So I feel like I'm not a good judge when it comes to that. It had a great taste, but it was very nutty. And I was like, I'm assuming that's probably what you want with peanut butter. Yeah, for me.
Put nuts in your mouth, it's going to taste a little nutty.
FawkinNuts.com. Energy boosting nut butters. Spread, fuel, focus, conquer. Taste the power. Fawkin Nuts. It's so fun to say.
They should hire you for the advertisements. That was well done.
I would love to say that on the radio. It'd be just
Right?
Could you imagine the commercials for this in the 90s for that product?
oh yeah.
I could. They should. If you're listening, fucking nuts, let's bring it back to the 90s. Everything's coming back. I mean, even styles that were, in the 90s, they're all back. I lost my train of thought here. Anyways, fuck it. No. It was something with the nuts and the peanut butter commercials. But either way, congrats to Nebraska, by the way, Brandon. He got me watching college football again. I watched it. You weren't overly impressed with the first half of the defense, but at the end of the day, you only gave up 3 points. It was decent.
So first time we've given up less than 20 points in the first 3 games of the season since 2005. We weren't dominant, but that's the 3-3-5 defense. They came out. Northern Iowa came out trying to nickel and dime us and slow the game down. They weren't snapping it till like less than 5 seconds on the ball with the play clock. But that's the 3-3-5 defense. We gave up like 150, 140 yards rushing, still less than 3.8 yards a carry, but no runs longer than 11 yards. And that's what the 3-3-5 does. It keeps everything in front of you. You know, you're going to bend no break, and you get to the red zone and you're kicking field goals, not driving it in. So, but it is what it is. Hey, Friday night though, it's going to be the first ranked matchup in Lincoln between a Nebraska team that's ranked and an opponent that's ranked since 2013.
Who's that? Illinois?
Illinois is coming to town. It's going to be the 400th consecutive sellout in Lincoln, dating back to 1962.
Man, what a big game. And, I mean, once the AP poll is released at the time of this recording, you already know, but our guess is Nebraska's got to make top 20, right? 3-0. A couple idle teams and a couple of teams that have some losses. They got to be top 20, you'd think.
Yeah, Kansas lost. So there definitely could be. Exactly.
Oh no, Kansas lost. What? That's terrible.
Yuban's Missouri had a nice dub against a top 20 team or top 25 team. BC.
Boston College. I was wondering how that was going to go. We played like ass. So glad that we snuck away with that one.
I couldn't believe I didn't watch the game. I don't know if you guys did. Georgia, Kentucky. I mean, a 1 point win. I think it looked a lot closer than it really was. Like if you start to look at some of the stats and stuff, but it's like Kentucky didn't really have that chance to win, right? But they were close.
Well, listen, Georgia was in. It was 9-3. Kentucky was up. Kentucky was up 9-3. It was a field goal game. It was like 9-3, 9-6, and then they scored a touchdown. It was 10-9, and then 12-10, and then 13-12. So it was a field goal, very defensive SEC game. But even though Kentucky was up 9-3, you could still sense it in the Georgia players that they just knew they needed one touchdown and it was going to be game over.
Yeah,
and it was.
Man, they're so goddamn good. I saw the guy that has not missed a Georgia football game since like 1990 something. It is unreal the dedication some of those people have in SEC football.
One of my favorite moments is Pat McAfee whenever he's doing his picks between Alabama and Georgia. He does like the whole anthem of Georgia and sings and everything, and then at the very end, I'm going with Alabama.
He has made it pretty entertaining. I
want to talk about that for a minute.
Yeah,
because we've got this. You guys heard of Will Compton by chance?
Oh yeah,
Will Compton.
Yeah,
big team.
Busting with the boys. Like that kind of. Pat McAfee's on his own level. I just want to say that I'm not trying to equate the two, but that kind of new style of commentator and internet provocateur sports-wise it gets annoying, I know, pretty quickly for some folks. I know you guys have talked about how much you like Pat McAfee and how much change. I've come to understand that, specifically with Will Compton in Nebraska, Will Compton used to play at Nebraska, etc. That is what we need as a fan base. If you used to go to our games, like we'd fill the stadium, but if we're losing or it's not close or whatever, the stadium's just like you could hear a pin drop with all the blue hairs in there. Mm-hmm. And what Will Compton is showing and saying, and he's been the guy that's on our big screen now before the game. He does a huge preview all season long. They're going to do that before the team comes out. It's pre-recorded. But he's teaching the fans you can't be like that if you want to be a raucous environment. You have to be like Wisconsin, where you're never sitting down and you're standing the whole time and you're cheering the whole time. And you're making it hell for the other team.
Yeah.
And so, from a Nebraska fan's perspective, that's a welcomed thing. I also love the Pat McAfee version and feel of the theater of wrestling is like, it feels like it's a part of this, you know. It's good for college football, man. It's a change up, sure, from what we grew up with, but
Yeah.
I like it.
And I like it. I think it's more like the relatability where, you know what I mean? He feels like one of the boys. Like you're watching the game with one of the boys. I mean, the stuff that's coming out of his mouth is some stuff that if we are all sitting watching a game, is probably going to come out of our mouths. Occasionally we want to slug a beer. But at the same point, it's informational. Like being Pat McAfee and seeing the game at the college level, the pro level, even as a punter, he saw some shit. So being able to see a different side of things is pretty cool. That's why I love the Manning cast. Watching those two guys, they look like the biggest nerds. You know what I mean? And they are football nerds. And then they had Bill Belichick on there last week, and just the conversation that they're having sitting in their room, making predictions, doing the play and everything. It's why I like listening to Tony Romo. People hate it, whether they just hate Romo because he was a Cowboy or they just don't like him in general. I love listening to him. But I wanted to ask you, Tom Brady, did you guys listen to his first broadcast?
I heard bad things, but I didn't listen to it, no.
So, being a Cowboys fan, that's going to look terrible wearing a Royals everything. But, he was commentating that game against the Browns. And I'm just like, okay. A lot of people dogging on him for his cadence and everything. You could tell it was his first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give it some time. I'm pretty sure Phil Nance and all these, or Phil Nance, Phil Sims and Jim Nance.
You almost said Phil Collins, didn't you?
Phil Collins. I wish. I've been jamming out to some Genesis lately too. It's probably on my mind, but no, those guys, they had their first day as well. So I'm biased. I liked Romo whenever he started. Now, whenever they show him on camera, dude's had some work done. Looking a little waxy. So that's my only fault with it.
With Brady, I think why people were making fun of him and said he was bad. Like you said, it was the way that he was kind of talking. It seemed a little bit slow but at the end of the day, like you didn't really have to hear Brady talk as much. Just press conferences, it was free flowing. He's having to read. I'm assuming he's having to adjust on the fly with the stats and stuff. But the inside stuff that he said, hey, they're in this defense. When he was doing that, it was very natural. It was very smooth. I think he's going to be good. And at the end of the day, if he's not, whatever, you can press the mute button and multicat. You know what I mean?
Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody, raise your hand. Do you two? Do you hate Tony Romo?
No.
How about said Phil Collinsworth?
Phil Sims?
Chris Collinsworth. How about Chris Collinsworth?
Chris Collinsworth. Jesus Christ, Phil Collinsworth.
I don't hate him.
I don't hate him. I like hearing him in the background. Now, if I'm losing, I may bitch about him a couple times, but that's it.
It's become a thing on the internet now. People hate both of those guys. They hate Tony Romo, which I get. Tony Romo can be a little over the top, a little too like on the nose when it comes to like you can see he's a quarterback and he can see what's happening with the defense and what's going to happen, what plays going to be called. And I love both of them. I grew up with Chris Collinsworth. He was calling the Nebraska-Miami game when Warren Sapp and Ray Lewis were playing on the team, and we beat him in January 95. He was calling that game along Phil Hammond or whatever. Not Phil, his name's Chris Hammond, I think it was, for NBC. And ever since then, I've loved Chris Collinsworth as a color commentator. I know he has some crutch phrases. I know it kind of gets, now here's a guy, but I enjoy him. He's insightful. It may not be your cup of tea, but he's not terrible. And Tony Romo's very insightful. Yep. So I don't know. I think people are too tough on. I mean, how about Beth Mowins? Anybody like Beth Mowins for ESPN?
I don't know that. I'm not an ESPNer.
She was doing like the Thursday night games, I think, at one point in time. I
don't watch those with sound.
It sounds like the Oakland A's commentator. Very. No cadence really, and they're like, and that's a first down.
Yeah,
it's
very, very monotone.
That's tough. You can't listen to that unless maybe the radio when you're trying to fall asleep. But I mean, we grew up too with some eccentric people. I mean, we remember Chris Berman, rumbling, stumbling, bumbling. You know what I mean? Like just that energetic. John Madden. He had his little bit of a take, and there was some terrible announcers then. But like I said, I think you need that little bit of iconic.
There was nothing quite like. NFL games are done. The Sunday NFL night game hasn't started yet. NFL primetime was so perfect. And there's nothing that's filled that gap yet. It wasn't. Listen, we grew up with Sports Center in our day. I used to watch. I would wake up at 6 in the morning some days, and I'd watch Sports Center for like 5 hours, and you'd be seeing the same shit over and over again, right? Like it didn't change. Didn't care. I didn't care. I loved it. I consumed all of it. I wanted to know all. And
sometimes you miss it,
right? We don't have that anymore. They used to do it like 6 to 12, 6 to 11, something like that. Then they'd change up their stuff. They went away from that 20-ish years ago, right?
Yeah.
But still, we had NFL primetime. I loved NFL primetime. And now, I don't even know if they still do it on NBC during halftime of the Sunday night game, where they do kind of like a 2-minute version of like the rundown of like the games. But NFL primetime was so great. The music, dun, dun, dun. Oh, dude. Dun. It was like,
gives you cold chills.
Every game was important. I don't care if we're talking week 1 or week 13 between the Bengals and the Browns, and everybody loses, you know, like it was fun to watch.
It was so fast too. It seemed like it could get through all the games. So like, if you're waiting for your team, you're like, it was only going to be like 3 minutes because all right, now it's on to Buffalo, Kansas City, now Cincinnati, and you know, and it was just, and it's just,
and he had a pick six. He was rumbling, and they go on to win 14-3.
It was just so good. But no, the worst commentator too right now, Troy Aikman. I can't stand the guy. Don't know what it is. A lot of people dog on Joe Buck. I don't like Joe Buck for baseball, but if you you were talking about, if you revisit some of the best moments in baseball and football, and you're like, I just want to look at this one highlight. It's been a while, and then you hear the commentator like, it's fucking Joe Buck, but he makes a memorable call, and you're like, damn, it's hard to hate on the guy when he does do a damn good job. So
he does, and well, and I think now it's hard because they don't have those prime times and stuff because they're able to take the game. It seems like within 15 minutes of the end of a football game, you can watch every single play where they do the condensed thing, like on YouTube and all these sites for like nothing. And I don't watch them because it kind of drives me nuts, but I think you know what I mean? We have the NFL Sunday ticket, so you never miss a play. You know what I mean? So you almost don't have to go back and watch it because you're seeing all the major plays, every scoring one. But I'm obviously the nerd too, where I always have to have like the game I really want to watch or potentially have some money on and the Sunday ticket, and then I always got to have my team up. But I did want to let you know, Yuban, I know this is Thursday and this already happened by the time we're recording it Sunday. You get Tom Brady on the Cowboys game again, week 2, buddy.
I'm so excited. I'm delighted. You know what? It could be worse. It could be Dennis Miller. Remember when he was on Monday Night Football? That was a bit hard to listen to.
Yeah, apparently you have Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, and Tom Rinaldi.
Ooh, Aaron Andrews. Hope she stays in a hotel soon.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Awful.
Shout out back to the day. Huh. Interesting.
Completely unrelated, but I'm going to Google something real quick.
Yeah, everybody going back to the you haven't been whacking off. Not only is that hair going to do something for you. Allegedly.
He's breathing really heavy. Don't mind me. It's asthma.
So I was trying to find some interesting food-related stuff. Stay out of the fridge. It seems like it's always a fun conversation, something we're all passionate about. We are big boys. We like it. And then it's just like a whole bunch of interesting things like, check your fridges. 6 states call eggs salmonella fear with 65 people. Okay, just boil them or something. But there's a lot of stuff on Disney and those food, like the foods or whatever. But one thing that I just didn't like to see was McDonald's and Crocs are reportedly teaming up to bring you the cutest Happy Meal ever. And I hate Crocs, but people love McDonald's. And, they're complaining about the higher prices and everything like that. So apparently they, you get the toy and all that stuff. They are trying to come up with a cactus. What is this? I'm trying to read through this. Sorry, I probably should have pre-read it. But apparently they're going to work with Crocs to come up with a new Happy Meal that has like the keychain croc type things in them. So
I like Happy Meals. I get my reward points. They're free.
Let's pull up. We can. There's a video here on the Tickety Talk. We don't have to show the whole thing, but this is Snack-a-Later. I don't know if you go Snack-a-Later or not on the old Tickety Talk. I don't know, but this is what he had to say.
Happy Meals in the United States from McDonald's. I've got to look at the designs. The boxes, let's just get right to it. A quick caveat, these are the designs from international McDonald's. They could change a little when they get here. Don't think they will, but just keep that in mind. But they're all McDonald's themed. You can see here they've got the golden arches to start off. And all of these are keychains, so if you're a kid, you can clip it to a backpack. That seems to be the trend in Happy Meals lately. And those fries one, I think might be my favorite. Those are absolutely adorable. The burger one is awesome, especially on the side. And then, of course, you got the McNugget shapes. And then more McDonald's kind of themes overall. Then you got the Happy Meal design and a ball pit design. I don't know if any of them by you have them, but I haven't seen a ball pit in McDonald's in a very long time. Which
I think that's actually kind of cool. I don't want to be a hater, but my
But you
kids wear
you don't
Crocs.
hate Crocs, right? Like you rock Crocs, or the kids your
No,
kids rock Crocs?
my
You're not
kids
none of them?
rock Crocs. I hate Crocs.
Okay, so we're on the same page. And this kind of not triggered me, but I saw it there because the kid has softball this morning, came to get the softball stuff, naturally went to her mom's house, forgot all her softball shit. So comes to get it, brand new pair of white Crocs that has softballs, her number, her initial, and I'm like, of all the colors of Crocs, I feel like
What?
white's not the one because they get dirty pretty goddamn quick, especially up here, but snow's coming. Should be all right.
That's my son has like these red and black ones that are like tie-dye red and black, stick out like a sore thumb, and he's always like, hey, I'm gonna wear like this green outfit with these bright red Crocs, and I'm like, you sure you don't want a different color? So hey, at least white goes with more things.
Yeah, do you guys do that, or you try to like match your shoes with your outfit?
To an extent.
Sometimes I've got a cousin that's got probably $15,000-$20,000 worth of shoes that does that, and he matches. That is like it's like he's got a different NBA team every day. It seems like, you know. I've got a pair of blue shoes, two pair of blue shoes, different hues of blue, and blue kind of goes with black. It goes with gray. It goes with white. Sometimes it can go with, you know, different colors like red and green a little bit, depending on the hue of it, the shade. But sometimes I'm just rocking turquoise shoes and a purple shirt. You know, like, what are you gonna do?
See, I'm a shoe nerd, but like a baller on a budget. So I try to find like the cheapest shoes with the minds like, oh, I just got this new Vermont flannel, which you guys can check out with official Beard Loss or Beard Loss 24. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy the flannel. It's black and yellow. I got all sorts of hats and shoes that color, but it's like, oh, I just bought one that's red, white, and blue. Okay, so then I'll go to like Burlington. I don't know if you guys have one of those near you. It's like a discount place. I'm assuming they get a bunch of like refunds, or they buy it by the pallet or something. So we were going through there the other day. The oldest was like, hey, I need a couple more pairs of jeans. Can we go to Burlington? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. What is Burlington? I had never been. And I walk in, it's this huge warehouse, and they have it all broken down in sections, and it's all super cheap stuff. And I'm like, yes, we can go to Burlington. She's like, well, I really need like 3. I'm like, you can get 10 at this price. Because I was like, I don't know, what's cool? Like Old Navy? What are some brands? And she's like, no, Old Navy's not cool. I'm like, I don't know. They still have a store. Somebody must be buying some stuff. So we go to Burlington, and I'm like, all right, well, I got to check out some stuff for me. So I went down there. They had 3 pairs of shoes in my size 12. And one of them was like a white, maroon, and yellow. It almost reminded me, the first thing is the Washington Redskins or Commanders. But I was like, I wear a lot of maroon. That's the kids' school color. You know what I mean? I on red, I wear Fridays for the troops. You know, honoring the troops overseas and stuff. It's a thing, I guess. So I wear that, and I'm just like, got those. It was like $12, and they're Adidas, like super nice. They retail if you go online for like $65. So I try to, and we have a shoe warehouse or shoe department. I don't know, one of the shoe things where they have clearance and stuff. But yeah, I got a lot of shoes, a lot.
I am not picky when it comes to my shoes. I'm not a shoe person. Would I prefer to put some Nikes on? Yeah, but with kids whose feet are constantly growing, and you know how it is, and every sport that they're interested in, you got to get a shoe for that as well. I just get some Walmart shoes because I know I just tear mine up anyways, and
yeah,
I have like some $10 slip-ons, but they recently opened up at Marshall's, which is like TJ Maxx or whatever.
Yep.
And I picked me up some Hey Dudes for $10, so.
Ooh.
Got me some of those again, but I also wear a size 12. This set is a 12. Hey Dudes must run a little small because this toe is just rubbing on the tip of this foot right now.
Rubbing racing.
So I remember being about, I was in high school, 16, 17, somewhere around there. And we were poor as hell. Like, there were some years when it was like, school clothes, we would go to thrift stores, if at all, the first week of school. Sometimes it would be September, October before we got to go. Well, one year we went to get a new pair of shoes, and I was at Walmart, and they had on display these beautiful Husker shoes.
Ooh.
I'm trying to see if I can find them because they probably don't exist anymore. They were the cheapest shoes you could ever imagine.
But the concept was cool.
They were white tennis shoes, and they had the big Nebraska N on the side. I can't find them. It's 20 plus years ago. And I bought these bad boys, and I had some red, like basketball pants, that kind of buttoned up the side. You know what I'm talking about?
Like the snap up one, or the one that snap up. Oh, I love pranking and ripping them off there. If you didn't wear a pair of shorts underneath, and you just wear, but potentially back in the day, you were still rocking them tighty whities. Maybe you didn't make the boxer transition, and you got made fun of a little bit. We had the system. It was like one would go on one side, one would go on the other, and.
Well, luckily that never happened to me. But I've got my thighs are too big for boxers. I put a pair of boxers on, and the first time the legs go like this, and it's rips right in half. The boxers are gone. So I was always a boxer brief guy.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, I remember it was like 2-3 weeks within this getting these shoes, and the front part of the shoe, like if this is my foot, the front part of the shoe on the inside started breaking apart. The thread started breaking apart.
Oh.
And I kid you not, I just bought these shoes like $20-25, but I was not going to say no to these shoes. I wore them until my foot was hanging out like like my foot was hanging out of the shoes like a sandwich. And people were making fun of me like, man, your shoes is talking to us over here. Like,
did you call them shandals?
Right.
Shoe sandals?
Oh, I wanted those shoes to be glad. They lasted like 3 weeks and they were broken. I was like, this bullshit made in the Philippines ass shit. Like, God damn it.
Mm-hmm. I have terrible smelling feet. So a lot of my shoes, I almost have to, because I have a shoe rack on my porch, which is like outside. So I have to leave them out there before I can put them. We're going to give this like a week or two before I put them back in there. And I don't know what the hell it is. Do
you know what we used to do for? Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, do you wear a lot of dark socks?
Black.
That's why. Yeah,
really.
Get away from the black socks for some
So
reason.
Like I said, I'll go a year with the same exact socks, throw them all the way around Christmas time. Last year was white, still had stinky. So this year I was like, maybe I'll go back to the black socks. And I went, because it was, I think, a conversation we had here where it wasn't cool to have like that's not ankle but a little bit higher socks. So I intentionally bought those just to say, hey, if they're not cool, I'm gonna rock them. They're still not cool.
I'm getting absolutely brutalized when it comes to socks because I wear ankle socks, and my kids are like, or like the no-shows, and they want me to wear ankles or whatever. I'm like, I'll sit there just their friends are over, whatever. Got my cargo shorts on. I don't care. It's my dad's shorts. Those things got so many pockets. And then I'll have my my little no-show socks on. They're like, Dad, that's so old. And I'm like, what? It's insane. I'm not going to wear ankle socks. I'm not 85 yet. I refuse.
At least you're not walking around in just your tighty whities when the kids' friends are over. I guarantee you that was a 90s thing. I remember going to some people's houses and their buddy's dad be like, hey, what's happening, Matty boy? Not much. Nice underwear, dude.
So
my grandpa did that.
Going back to your comment, Matt, about your stinky feet. One thing we used to do with stinky shoes, and it's an old wives' tale, but it actually works. Is one thing we would do is we would put dryer sheet liners in our shoes, which you don't put your feet on them. Obviously, you put your socks on, and then so you're not worried about like, soaking to the palms of your feet. But that helped a little bit. But also, threw in some like shoe powder that would help with smell a little bit. But put them you have to wrap them in a plastic bag, put your shoes in a plastic bag, and put them in your freezer. Now, you don't want to not put them in a plastic bag because it'll make your freezer smell like dirty feet. But if it kills the smell. It kills the smell. Now, will it awaken when it gets back to 70 degrees? Probably a little bit, but it'll help at least. Look into that.
I think I've heard that.
Yeah, it does help. I've tried it with my own my own teenager feet when my shoes used to be really stinky.
Yeah. And it's weird for me because it's not like I'm out there running, sweating, super physical, like I'm sitting on my ass most of the day. I don't understand why they smell so goddamn bad. I'm blaming the shoes that they make these days.
Well, mine are like, I wear dress shoes for work, and those ones, I put those ones, I used to have the shoes underneath my side of the bed, My wife like, God damn. She's like, do you need a shower or something? I'm like, I just did, bitch. What are you talking about? She's like, it smells like feet in here. And I'm like, oh, it's probably these dogs. It's probably these shoes underneath the bed. And sure enough.
That's why I had to start putting them on the porch with that shoe rack thing. Because, yeah, it would stink up the kitchen. It'd stink up the living room. It was just...
No, Brandon, what size are you? Matt says that he's a 12. I'm a 12.
I could fit 11 wide. The problem is I've got wide feet, so they have to be. So I usually do 12 because I'll have about this much room in the tip or so, but
Giggity.
At least they're wide enough.
Yep. Look at that big boy feet.
Matt mentioned finding 3 pairs of 12s at a discount place. Every time I go to a discount place, there are no 12s. Or if there are, it's like, hey, do you want this purple, gold, turquoise color of shoe, like all into one? Almost looks rainbow. And I'm like, no. It's always garbage. Well, they're like, that and clogs. That's all we have for you today.
I wonder if it's because it's the most common size shoe. What do you guys think the most common? I just looked it up real quick. I put it in there. What do you think the most common size shoe is for men?
10 and a half.
Wow. Yeah, that's according to several studies. The average shoe size for men in the United States is about 10 and a half. You sons of bitches. You guys were... Have you been asked... Well, was this a trivia question on Brandon's show and you called in and won? You son...
That's
it was instant. You both were like 10 and a half. Boom.
Well, I think I looked it up before, and because every time that they were sold out, I was like, I just thought it was like, oh, 12s are normal, 12s are normal. And people are like, you got big feet. And I'm like, no, those 15s and 16 folks, those are Bigfoot. Like, this is normal, you know? And then I looked it up, and they're like, no, 10 and a half is normal. I'm like, oh.
Funny, that's the shit that sticks in our brains sometimes. Like, oh, average shoe size 10 and a half. What's your kid's birthday? Shit, I don't know, like February something.
Right. Which one?
I just always remember because I'm a 11 wide that it's bigger than average, and it's always good to be a little bigger than average, you know.
Yeah, boy. All right. While we're playing guessing games, I got a new one. This one could be fun. Maybe you guys have looked it up. Maybe you haven't. But apparently there was a study that was done. Foodandwine.com. I don't know if it was their study or somebody else, but they went ahead and ranked the top 16 unhealthiest burgers from fast food chains.
Oh, fast food, okay.
Fast food, and they scored them based on energy points, saturated fat points, total sugar points, and sodium points. And they totaled them all up with a score.
So you have a list of 10 in front of you?
I have the top 10. I have the top 16.
So if I were to just name off a restaurant, is that what we're going to do?
Yeah, let's do that. There's I'm not going to lie to you. Like I said, it's fast food. There's a couple that I haven't heard of, but I guarantee you guys have heard of every single one of those where you guys live.
What about Hardee's?
Yeah. Hardee's is on the list. I did see it somewhere here. I'm pretty sure Hardee's. Maybe it's not.
I'm thinking that Frisco burger. You know,
dude, that or the Monster Burger. So, to me though, the first thing that came to my mind was the Baconator from Wendy's, just being ungodly healthy.
Wendy's is on the list. It is not the Baconator. But so I'm going to give you that. Wendy's number 6. They have it on there for the Dave's Single is a 30 for unhealthiest, 7 energy, whatever that is, 15 for the fat, 1 for the sugar, 11 for the sodium.
Well, because the bacon would have protein in it, so I get where this is going. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because at first I was like, how does that make sense?
Hardee's was not on the list. Sorry, I lied to you. Really? It was something else. It was one that I didn't recognize.
So where's McDonald's?
McDonald's is number 4, tied number 14 with somebody else with the cheeseburger.
Just a cheeseburger? What are they?
Cheeseburger. Yep, it's got an 18 for unhealthiest score.
Let's
high on sodium.
Let's go Burger King.
Burger King, that's who it's tied with at 14 with also the cheeseburger. They were both at 18.
Wow.
Right?
Are we,
when you hear the number 1, you're going to go, yeah, at least my opinion.
Five Guys?
Five Guys cheeseburger. Number 1 with a 50. 50 is the highest unhealthiest score. Energy 12, 26 for the fat. Sugar only 1 and sodium 11.
Oh my god. It's so delicious though. So overpriced, but so damn delicious. for a while there, people were getting like this grilled cheeseburger from there, like this custom made one. And they're like, yeah, I think it's like $22. I'm like, man, I can't. I can get 40 nuggets, 2 large fries, and 2 drinks at McDonald's for that.
Mm-hmm. Sucker for the app.
Yes, sir.
So let's go. Why don't you throw a couple at us?
All right, let's go. We'll go number 13 is the cheeseburger from Jack in a Box.
Okay. Never had it. Okay.
Number 12 is the Papa Burger from A&W.
I haven't had A&W in probably 25 years.
Yeah. Number 16, I still don't really know what the hell it says. Culver's? Is that a place? Culver's?
Culver's. Oh, Matt, Culver's. It's a
I've never had one.
It's out of Wisconsin. It's all good. It's out of Wisconsin. They're butter burgers, so they use that clarified butter.
That's what it is.
Not just on the buns, but they also I'm pretty sure they throw butter on that burger when they're making it because it is just juicy.
So it's going to be the healthiest on the list at only a 17 unhealthy score.
I didn't get your badge. We're going to Culver's.
No shit, dude. Their kids' meals, going back to the app, actually, I don't even think this is an app thing. Their kids' meals are just relatively inexpensive, and you get like a little dish of ice cream, kind of like Dairy Queen, with one topping as well. Oh, they got cheese curds, and then they have these hot buffalo chicken strips, which chicken finger palate on the child. Usually when they say they have a buffalo or like a hot wing chicken strip or whatever, it's usually just their normal chicken strip tossed in a sauce, whatever, right?
Yep.
This one is already there is no sauce. It's a spicy chicken strip that is so good.
And this whole article is because I guess the cheeseburger from fast food is the unhealthiest thing on the menu. So chicken finger palate makes it a little bit healthier.
See, that's just me. I'm just big into fitness.
Yeah, fitness in your mouth. You did mention Dairy Queen, tied for number 10 with the original cheeseburger, the single. As number 10, Dairy Queen. Tied for number 10 is the In-N-Out cheeseburger with onion. Specifically high in sodium. Then you have go ahead.
You guys ever had In-N-Out?
I have not.
Neither have I.
Yes.
Is it good?
Ass. I mean, so I've had I've had Whataburger as well, or Whataburger, whatever the hell it is.
Mm-hmm.
First time I had it, I thought it was overrated. Second time I had it, very good. So I will say that I to be a fair judge, I need to have these things and have like a controlled sample of like 5. To be fair. I need to have.
I think too. We've talked about it a little bit. I think where you are location-wise, and potentially what time you get it for the shifts. You know what I mean? I think makes a huge difference in the food. In the food. I mean, I've eaten at the same exact place and had an awesome lunch, and then gone to a place in a dinner, and you kind of get the not cheaper, but like maybe the less experienced staff in some places, and it's been absolutely terrible. I mean, should it be consistent if you have a restaurant? Yes. Do I work in the biz? No, but I think that does potentially have a little thing in here. Here, I'll bring up the list and we can look at the last couple of ones with you guys if you want.
But In-N-Out was essentially just an overpriced Sonic, to give you guys a heads up.
Steak and Shack, single with cheese, was number 9. This one looks... After this, we'll look at which one do you think looks the best on presentation. I've never had a fat burger, medium original fat burger. Looks pretty goddamn good to me. Then the Shake Shack single cheeseburger is number 7. Number 6 is the Dave Singles we already said. Sonic. Number 5.
Sonic is so good.
There's your Hardee's. It's number 4. It's Carl's Jr. and Hardee's are the same thing.
Oh, they're the same. Okay, my fault.
Yeah,
okay.
No, you're good.
There we go. The famous star with cheese, and then Smash Burger, classic Smash. Tied with number 2 with the jalapeno and cheese Whataburger.
Have you guys had Freddy's?
I have not.
It's that Freddy's sauce, bro.
Now listen, man. Do I still have some up here, bro?
Freddy's. Is it kind of like these fast food, just with a twist?
This is the jalapeno fry sauce from Freddy's.
That's so fucking.
Oh my god, it's delightful. It's so good. The jalapeno version is so much better than the regular. And the regular version is great. Don't get me wrong, but this jalapeno version, I would literally during coitus throw this anywhere on any orifice and just dive right in.
You know me, I think Chick-fil-A sauce is overrated. I do not get big onto any like restaurant sauces. Freddy's jalapeno fry sauce is indeed top tier. And they have like the little shoestring French fries. always fresh. I've never had a bad French fry from Freddy's.
Super
And then-
crunchy.
Dude, they're so crunchy. And so it's almost like a smash burger. It's a steak burger, Matt. And they have this combo to where if you're a voluptuous little fellow like myself, you can get a chili cheese dog on Texas toast with a single cheeseburger, fries, and a drink. And if you're feeling a little fancy, you want to add one of their famous shakes. Ooh, you can get all that for about $15. Oh, so good.
And you'll only be put under in the toilet for about 15 hours.
Did you guys, speaking of sausage, did you guys hear Taco Bell is putting out chicken nuggets, crispy chicken nuggets, in a jalapeno honey mustard?
See, they're probably good, but like, just stay in your lane. And I don't mean that as in they're so good at what they do. Why are you like this whole chicken cantina thing has been the greatest thing they've done in years.
So good.
Oh, that sauce. Oh. Like, we save packets of the sauce so I can use on like scrambled eggs. It's that fucking good, dude. It's so good.
Yep, they have 8 new menus, which some of them have been released, some of them are being released, and some of the places throughout the U.S. already have it. Obviously, the Cantina chicken menu. There's a cheesy chicken crispinata, I guess. I don't know if you...
I hate when they come out with new stuff just because you know it's going to be kind of expensive, and that's what throws me off. Like, I'm so stuck in like 10-year-ago prices that they're like, oh, hey, we just came out with chicken nuggets. Grab 4 of them now for $4.89. I'm like, go fuck yourself. If it's not $2, I don't fucking want it. No.
Yep.
It's Taco Bell's getting kind of high anymore, man. I don't know what's up.
It's getting expensive, and they're putting out better quality. Yeah, that crispinata is their take on an empanada, so it's going to be tender, marinated, slow-cooked chicken with garlic, tomato, onion mixed with a Monterey, fuck that cheese, pepper jack, cheddar, mozzarella cheese. All of it is baked inside a crispy pastry dough. Then you got the chicken nuggets, the cheesy street chalupas, the Mountain Dew Baja Blast gelato, which I think is rolled out in some places, the cheesy enchilada dipping taco, apparently, a dulce de, how do you say that? Cinnabon delights, dulce de leche. I don't know. I can barely speak English, let alone that. The Cheez-It Crunch Wrap, which already came out, and then they were talking about bringing back an item that apparently was like the wife's favorite back in the day, where it's like more or less mini bite-size Crunch Wrap Supremes or something. I forget the name of them, but those sons of bitches.
I like to get some of their Fiesta potatoes every once in a while. Put a little salsa on that bad boy. Those are good too. I'm hungry now. I hate
the
them.
cheesy chicken crispinata almost looks like a friggin' pie from McDonald's. Look at this thing.
Oh.
This is the sauce. They say the sauce is going to be pretty good with the nuggets. Like you said, here's 4 or 5 chicken nuggets for $4.89. Cheesy Street, those look pretty friggin' good.
See, those are good, but they're so fucking small. Like, you get them and you're like, oh man, it's gonna be great, and they're like this big.
See, that's what I saw. They had the 25th anniversary or 20th anniversary of the gelato or of the Baja Blast, but it was in a gelato form. It looked good.
Coffee and churro chillers, and that's a hard pass. A Mexi melt or caramel apple empanada. Taco Bell and salt and straw ice cream chocolate taco.
Oh, that sounds good.
Ooh, like a Choco Taco? Interesting.
So, go ahead.
Brandon, do you ever go to Quick Trip, the gas station? Oh, do you ever get the rolled meat from there, like their little tornadoes or the taquito things?
The ones that are made out of chicken, though?
Oh, bro. Are you talking about the buffalo chicken one?
I remember when I lived in Omaha, this is like pre-2017, so like 2016, 2017. Quick Trip up in Omaha did a huge like remodel of their whole kitchen, and it was like they were trying to do pizzas like Pizza Hut. Like they were like, come to get your food from us, and it was so fucking good. Like their pizza was great, their sandwiches were great, everything was just fucking delicious, delightful. And then we moved, and we don't have Quick Trip anymore, so I don't know if it's like that. Loved it, and they were always great. I want to say something to you too. I want to reiterate the stay in your own lane thing. I get mad when fast food restaurants try to do too much. Okay, let me ask you this: best French fries. Give me your top French fries in fast food.
And Wendy's is up there for some reason. I'm not even a huge Wendy's fans, but their sea salt fries are top tier. I love them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you guys feel about Arby's?
Oh, curly fries are number one.
I love the curly fries and the Wendy sauce or Arby's sauce. That'd be my probably top.
Literally, the curly fries at Arby's are probably one of their top 2 or 3 things. Sure, you may love their I loved their chicken cordon bleu sandwich. They don't do it anymore.
Ooh.
But loved their roast beef is great. People make fun of it, whatever. Love their Jamocha shakes, but their curly fries are delicious. And then they were like, you know what we should do? We should get fucking crinkle fries because nobody likes those. And so when I go to Arby's and I'm like, can I get some fries? And they're like, do you want those crinkle or curly? What the fuck do you ask me? I'll punch you in the fucking teeth. I don't want no goddamn crinkle fries. Am I 6 years old? No.
Do you think it ruins it, or are you a fan that they put them in bags with the Arby's sauce in a bottle so you can just cook them and do them yourself?
Curly fries or crinkle fries?
The curly, like you can go to like Walfarts and different stores, buy the Arby's curly fries, buy the Arby's sauce. Like, does it ruin it for you, or are you like, thank you for doing that?
There's a weird feeling I get to that point on a broader scale when I go to Wall, blah blah blah, and I get to the sauce section and I see Taco Bell sauce, Buffalo Wild Wings sauce, Arby's. So I see all these sauces. I'm like, fuck you! I'm not spending $4 for this where I can get 8 packets for free. You know. I'm like, what am I going to put this with? I don't have Arby's at home. No, I'm not going to. The only exception I've done that with is when I make roast beef Arby's sandwiches, and I had the onion buns, a little bit of roast beef, throw it in a crock pot with some au jus, take it out, and Arby's sauce.
Talk dirty to me. Did I just dial a 1-900 number over here? Good God, here comes round 2. Watch the hand check. Oh, there's only one.
Put your hands up.
If there was ever an OnlyFans for mukbangs, you can count me into that. I can keep my clothes on. All I'm doing is getting a little sauce right here, and you want to watch me go, yeah, I'll do that for you. You pay me money.
OnlyFans.com/FoodDaddy.
Arby's is so damn consistent as well. I don't know why people dog Arby's. Matt, I've talked about this 100 times as well. Arby's is top tier stuff right there. It's now I think they changed their mozzarella sticks over the years because they seem to be a little inconsistent, or they roll through different stuff. But they're so thick. I could never be a gay man because that stuff over there, that's a lot of cheese in the mouth at one time. Bad gag reflex.
You ever bite one open and there's like no cheese in it?
Yes.
What the fuck? Breading stick?
Makes you just want to throw it. That's what. So I always get an extra straw, and I will do spit wads against the building if I'm unsatisfied with any part of my meal. it's my trademark.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Like, we've been hit by the spit bandit again. It's like, yep.
So when you guys order takeout, do you guys like go through the bag and make sure you have all your shit before you leave, or you just trust the system? Because for me, we try to do Taco Tuesday. Sometimes we'll go to the local place. Sometimes we'll hit up, the Taco Bell and everything like that. If I go to Taco Bell, I have to go through the bag, the box, whatever the hell it is, because they've opened, I don't know, a year or two ago, and they have never once 100% got the order correct. Sometimes it's in our favor. We get somebody else's and ours. Sometimes, but most of the time, we're missing shit. And it's always the youngest's order, which is like cheese, burger, and that's it on a taco. It's, you know what I mean? Like, no lettuce, no this, no that. And they always mess it up. Always.
So it depends on where I go, and it depends on where it's at. But also, we usually order a lot of food, a lot of small items, a lot of, $1, $2, $3 menu. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So listen, if I've got 20 items and I know that Steph Curry and Steve Nash are only making 92% of their free throws, they're not making 19 out of 20. So, they're making less than 19 out of 20. So they're probably going to mess up at least one item. So yes, I'm going to go through, and I'm in the drive-thru and I'm like, okay, so we got 14 items. So when I get the bag, I just need to count to 14. If I get to 14 when I count the different items, then we're good.
Yep.
Whether or not they gave us too many taquitos and I didn't get an enchilada, sad. But if I get my number of items I'm supposed to get, I'm usually, it's okay. It happens.
Now, are you guys checking while, so say like hypothetically, it's drive-through. Are you still sitting at the window checking this before you drive off, or are you driving off, parking somewhere, checking?
Well, we have a Taco Bell where I live that the lobby is not open. So I'm sitting right fucking there in the drive-thru because I'm not waiting another hour to go back around and to fucking wait to get my cold food fixed, so. But
see, I have this weird thing where I refuse to use a drive-thru. I go in. I don't know what it is. I will not go through a drive-thru. I'll go in, and a lot of them they'll have like specifically the Taco Bell, they have like a pickup place. So you put it on the app, boop boop boop, go in, pick it up, and I look to it right there. And then if it's good, I leave. If not, I'm like, hey. And every time they're like, what did we forget this time? Because it's every goddamn Tuesday I'm there. They're like, what did we mess up? I'm like, well, I didn't get this or I didn't get that. The other day, though, this pissed me off. There were some people, I think, like I almost think it's like a family of people that work at this Taco Bell. Because there was clearly what looked to potentially be a kid that was working there. And I think they brought him there. And then I'm pretty sure either the mother and the father both worked there as well. Because they were talking to the employees. They knew them. They knew the lingo. They were help picking up some stuff. They were like, hey, but they just sat there in front of there. I did the mobile, and I'm just waiting. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And nobody was like, can I help you with anything? There was an order on the mobile thing, but it didn't have my name, and it had a whole different sheet. Didn't look to be mine. The only thing that was in common was the drink was the one we ordered. So I'm waiting. Couldn't even ask a question. Finally, they get their food. They go and sit down. But before she does, she looks at the thing. She goes, did you have a DoorDash, guys? And they're like, no. And they're like, well, whatever's labels on here, when the person comes to pick it up, they're not going to know it's theirs. It's completely wrong. And she looked and she goes, oh, shit, this is probably yours, huh? I go, yeah, I've been waiting patiently for 12 minutes to ask if this could potentially be mine, but appears you guys were having a very good conversation that I wanted nothing to do. And I didn't want to interrupt you. And they were like, oh. And the guy comes over. Yup. Oops, sorry, should have been. This is yours. And I go, cool. Well, I've been waiting an extra 15 minutes. So you want me to take all of this cold food? And he goes, yep. And I go, not a chance in hell. Remake it. And they went, what? I go, yeah, remake it, please. And they went, how about a refund? And I go, oh, you can refund on the app? Because whenever it's wrong, I was told you had to call corporate. And they go, shit. So and we ended up settling for like some free tacos or something. And I was just like, you sons of bitches. Like, I'm going to play if it was like a mom and pop shop, no, it's Taco Bell. Did I potentially feel petty and go and leave a terrible review about that place on the app to corporate for the 17th time? No.
Hit him where it hurts. Blow the roof off of that place. I got you, Brandon.
Just like somebody blows the toilet up after there.
Yeah.
But,
speaking of roofs.
Roofs. Yeah, speaking of roofs. Brandon.
You know what I got in trouble?
Oh, bless you.
Bless you,
What'd you
child.
I was calling it the roof. And people are saying it's not the roof. Roof is what, or wait, is it roof or is it roof is what I'm saying. 'Cause now I'm fucking it up.
I know you say roof. We said roof.
Right. So it's roof. Yeah, roof. I'm going on the roof. It's not roof. It's like crick versus creek. Or crick. Anyway, whatever.
I used to say it like that too. I used to say the rough. Or whatever. Or roof. Now I get no. I'm refusing to say that word
It's
until the
not
end of the show.
rough. I'm not saying rough. I'm saying rough. Rough.
I'm not saying rough. I'm saying
I'm
roof.
just not saying roof. It's on the roof.
How do you spell roofie?
ROOFIE.
RUPH.
There's only one way to settle this. How to say, and you ask Google. All right, this is how we settle this. This is how I had to do it for Oregon.
Roof.
Fuck you.
Roof.
Here, let me say it slower for you.
Roof.
Roof. Let's go do it on the roof.
That fuck you was so instantaneous. As soon as she goes, like the F wasn't even done yet. As soon as he heard the ooh, he goes, "Oh fuck you."
He did.
So you bring this up. I am going on the roof. Not this week, but next week. I'm going to be living on the roof of the building. See, now I'm going to I have to say this word 80,000 times over the next 2 weeks.
Hey, know what you need to do? Say it differently every time.
We're going on the
Keep 'em
roof,
guessing.
and we'll be up on the roof for... He keeps fucking with me. Turn that radio off. So I had a couple people in the radio station. We did a couple stories on... a couple interviews on homelessness and hunger and how it affects people. And did a little research and found that 12.2% of Nebraskans consider themselves to be food insecure, which means don't know where their next food's coming from, may not have the food necessary in their home to get all the nutrients they need to stay healthy or to stay alive. And that equates to about 1,350 households in my town.
Wow.
Which is a lot of households, because you multiply that out by 2, 3, 4 people, and you're probably better at math than I am. And so coming from where I came from, went to a lot of different schools, like 11 schools in 13 years, went to foster care, lived in the Open Door Mission, lived at Salvation Army. So I know what it's like to be poor. I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like not to know where your next meal's coming from. And I wanted to do something wild and fun to raise awareness for this, but also to try to be the talk of the town and give back to the food banks. And so I'm going to be camping on top of the roof of the building. Of the building. Yes, I'll be camping on top of the building. That's right. The building top roof. Fuck. Until we fill an entire furniture truck, 18-foot long. Oh, you got it. 8 foot tall, 7 feet wide, of food. This is a big old truck. Me there for size, so you can see how big this is. Bruce Furniture. Shout out to Bruce Furniture in Hastings, Old Ridge, Alliance, Kearney, North Platte.
Shout out, Bruce.
I'm not being paid to say that, but they're doing a great job. All these businesses and companies have reached out to me. I'm going to church this morning for a youth group, which is going to be donating they're decorating boxes that they're going to use for donating foods that they're going to give back to us. And we're excited. It's going to be great. So, so many businesses have reached out to me, and many of people I went to different schools. Hastings Catholic Schools has been very helpful. Trying to blow my nose on a corner of a piece of toilet paper here.
I saw that. That's a power move.
Isn't that wild?
You know what's really crazy is just leaving the little toilet paper around to blow your nose whenever you're not feeling good. So
you get to do the morning announcements.
I was on the intercom here for the school at Hastings Catholic or Hastings St. Cecilia.
Congratulations! I heard you're now the treasurer of the school. You made the what is it, whatever the thing is, student government.
Yeah, it's fun. But I asked some of the kids how. So I'm up there on top of that roof until we fill that truck. Could be a day, could be 10 hours, could be 10 weeks. I asked the kids at school how long they think I'll be up there, and they said one kid said they think I'll be up there till Christmas, and I'm like, oh shit, I better not be up there till Christmas.
So how are you preparing to be on there? Is this something you talked about that you could potentially see on the Party Line or something on KHAS radio?
You'll hear all about it on Party Line. And you see that big truck. We're going to do it to where we're measuring it out 18 feet. So 2, 4, 6, 8, all the way up to 18. And every time we hit one of those 2 feet benchmarks, there's an incentive to the community that I get something. We hit 2 feet, I get a pillow. We hit 4 feet, I get a care box from the library with books to read. At 6 feet, I get a tent. At 8 feet, I have to eat a habanero raw. At 10 feet, I get visited by one of the kids. So it's incentivized that way too. So we're going to have some fun with it. I'm getting my meals by different businesses in town. So shout out to all the businesses. I'd name them off, but I think the value to naming them here on our where our listeners are all over the world are probably is near nil. But shout out to the businesses who've donated food to me to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I appreciate you guys.
It's so cool to see.
Listen, something to do that takes more than just me. I can be on the roof, I can be up there.
The roof.
And that's why I need the community. And it's all about us coming together to be a superhero.
If you guys want to check it out, central.newschannelnebraska.com/KHAS. You see Brandon up there with the thumbs up. Heroes for Hunger. Be a hero. Bring donations for local food pantries. Don't be these people. Don't be them.
Mom?
You can just go to khasradio.com. It'll direct right to.
That's way easier. I saw it online. Obviously a fan of you. Always support you. Saw that, and I was just like, man, this is an absolutely amazing thing. Not only that, obviously there's more than just you doing it, but man, it's so cool to see a community be able to, work together, get along, especially maybe with everything that's going on every 4 years when people start to butt heads and talk a whole bunch of stuff and, bring political things into things. This is cool to, put everything aside. And I love how your community does a lot for not with other local businesses and stuff and the high school sports. And you guys know whether you played sports or whether you didn't, you're part of the community. Like local sports is awesome in a lot of towns. A lot of people take a lot of pride into it, maybe a little bit too much pride, but it's a nice positive distraction to everything that goes on in the world, you know.
Is this an election year?
Allegedly.
Oh, I haven't seen anything about it yet.
Yeah, me neither. But I don't know. With that being said, I looked at the clock. I think we're good. Brandon's got things to do. Yuban's got things to do. I just want to watch some football here and maybe potentially put in some bets and check all the fantasy lineups. And that apparently takes a long time when you have seven fantasy football teams.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And of course, you guys are going Thursday. Wait. Yeah, Thursday night football. Enjoy this. Enjoy tonight's game. I'm sure it's going to be a great one. Week 3, baby. Week 3. But either way, can't thank you enough. Not only to anybody that's still listening for whatever reason. Brandon, Yuban, appreciate you guys as well. And best of luck with everything Tuesday, Brandon. And all right, that's all I got. You guys got anything else?
The days are long, but the years are short. So make today matter.
Hell yeah. I love that. No other way to say goodbye. Okay. Bye.
Buckle up tight, it's gonna be a wild ride. We're diving deep into your fridge where secrets hide. Mysteries of leftovers, the wonders inside. From moldy sandwiches to ancient yogurt jars.